Santa's flags, Blinky's horns. I'm talking to you as much as anything, because there's nobody on there yet. And then there's something else I thought. Well, we'll have Blinky done before the meeting.
That's what I'm saying. Another tells us if we're gonna convoy Marcus and we're feeling like it is, like we're having meetings, so I think it's right after.
That's my thought.
It'll probably be down there at the sheets. That's usually
AT&T. Always fuel at AT&T here in Hagerstown.
we got that. People did that with the seats, so registered it.
There's a few people watching. Hey guys, how we doing?
Good evening, crew.
So we had a not too bad a day. We're headed out and got a call from Black Wolf, and he was in northern Ohio. We stopped home for a day and took care of some business, paid some bills, etc. So we ended up, we were headed out this morning, ready to leave. We got
You need to hold on,
I need to hold on.
like I have 3 times.
No, I didn't hear you any of them.
Yeah, because it's too loud. Let's sit down all the
Yeah. Alright guys, we're making sure that our exhausts are non-compliant. But sounds like they might be a-okay. So, pretty easy day. We met up with Black Wolf and another convoy member here this morning on their way through Ohio, and we all went down 70. Ended up here, what we got here, about 5 o'clock?
I think.
About
Well,
5 o'clock. The rest of the convoy got here, I'm thinking, around 2, 3 o'clock.
When the convoy first went through Ohio, we joined just after Cambridge and Lower City. And that's where we met Black Wolf today. So it was kind of neat joining up again to come here for the second time.
But, so we got here and got set up and talked to a few people, and we had a rally at 6. It was pretty good. Got it on from earlier. Went over and talked about a couple projects we got to get into tomorrow, probably first thing in the morning, so that'll be a nice way to start.
Yeah, we probably only been here, but already have 2 projects in the morning before meeting at 8.
Yeah, only one of them's going to get done before the meeting, but we'll start on the second one at least. So, other than that, a lot of familiar faces around. People are coming back here now that we're back here. I think that there was a lot of people who were really not that pleased we went to California. This was not designed as a California convoy. I was not super pleased myself. It is what it is. We went, we came back, we're back now, and it's time to lay the pressure on the fat cats in DC. That's what we started out to do. That's what we're back to do. You guys watching, some of you can help in however way you can. Let us know that you're watching, or call, write letters, email your representatives. Get out here if you can. Get out here if you can. If you're make a trip to DC for a day or 2 days or a week, go for it. It's not that bad. We'll feed you. If you can make it here, you leave. So we've got kids, we've got senior citizens, we've got everybody in between.
You'll have expenses. I mean, they don't feed you all the time. You're not guaranteed food, just the gas while you're here.
But
and I guess a free place to camp.
There will be stuff to eat on now that we're set up in one place.
Now, yeah.
Since we're not moving, Gypsy can take care of that. And he's on it good. So, I mean, it's not like we're starving.
That totally depends upon the donations also.
It does. It does. But
so it's not a guarantee type thing.
Worst case, you'll have oatmeal.
I eat oatmeal a lot just because I prefer it. They always save me a few packets, and there's always plenty of hot water. It's like my convoy food.
And if you guys are here and see us, go ahead and bother us. I'm talking to the guys that I've been talking to for 2 or 3 months, and we're just all old hillbillies anyway. So, I mean, it's not like you're interrupting anything, I promise. You know, if there's 4 or 5 guys standing around and there's no cameras and everybody's hushed, so on and so forth, well, if we're just shooting the breeze, we're just telling jokes about each other and lying about stuff we've done, if you want to know the truth. So
yeah, I can attest to that.
But don't ever be afraid to come up and approach anybody here. There is nobody that walks on water or anything else, even if it's Trucker G or Santa or whoever else. They're just regular guys. Everybody here is just a regular person, just like you. That's it. So don't sweat it. Tap somebody on the shoulder, say, hey man, and we'll be happy you stopped to talk to us.
And Major's on here, and our team motorman. I don't know if that was Rat. I think it was a motorcycle.
Yeah, there's Rat is not the only one with straight pipes here. Let me just put it that way, guys. So don't pass judgment too quick.
They'll definitely let us get some sleep. I'm really surprised that they're being that loud after 10. Usually, I mean, we usually have an unspoken rule that, you know, you be polite and respectful. But then you got to think about that there's a lot of new people here, unfamiliar faces.
I'm more concerned about the guy with the bugle, to be honest. Apparently it is a new instrument for him as well.
But it is our first night in Hagerstown, so everybody's... Yeah.
I don't need to be that excited.
Or at least try to take requests, maybe.
But no, I think everybody is feeling a little bit refreshed and renewed and less edgy. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's, you know, not always super great here, and we get on each other's nerves and so on and so forth. Me and the missus just took a day off, which I know helped me a lot relax from everything. It's just like the weekends at work. You can't take another minute of those guys, and then it's Friday afternoon and you don't care a bit because they're gone for 2 more days. So, but no, everybody seems to be in good spirits and doing well and happy to be back.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that. A lot of people started popping up past couple days that returning from that were here originally. We're glad to see them all, of course.
Definitely.
We'd be glad to see all of you, those of you that can make it. If your health won't allow it, don't try and come. If your vehicle won't allow it, don't try and come. I don't want to put anybody in a bad position here. If your health won't allow it and vehicle won't allow it, I bet you can still write letters or make phone calls. And that is every bit as important as us being here. Truth be told, there's a handful of us here. There should be thousands, but there's only a handful. There are more of you watching live streamers right this minute than we have in DC. Your voices are as loud as ours. And if they don't hear them, they might as well not be there. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to make a call. Talk to your neighbor. Go to a school board meeting. Go to a township trustee meeting. Get to know your county sheriff. County sheriff is the most powerful individual within your county. And a lot of you guys, if you don't live directly within a city or some other municipality, you're going to live in a county. And the sheriff is the man or woman. They're not bad guys. They're elected for a reason. There are places that are trying to make county sheriff an appointed position, which we really need to make sure doesn't happen. But bottom line, get involved. Get involved small and locally, because that's where it starts. That's where it always has to start. Truth be told, nobody at the federal level is going to pay attention. So, but your sheriff will, the mayor will, the school board will, the trustees will. Call them. Have your friends call them. Super important, guys. Super important. I know that myself and my wife and everybody here does not want to have wasted the last 3 months of our life driving around in circles because they think we're the only ones who believe this.
We got to figure out a way to communicate. We went yesterday to go and bid a job. It's a returning customer. We've known him for a couple years. The first time I met her, she had a Hillary Clinton t-shirt on.
Which is okay.
We never really talked about a whole bunch of political views, but you could really tell where she stood on a lot of issues. And we've been gone for like 6 weeks. And her off, telling her, you know, we're out of town, we'll be back soon. She knows Dennis travels for work, so I think she kind of thought that we were traveling for his work. And then we went there, and she knew that we were gone. I told her we were gone for like 6 weeks, and she said, where to? And I said, we went out to California and drove back.
Eased into it.
She thought it was a great way for me to go and unwind and have fun and da-da-da-da-da. And then Dennis kept measuring, and we went and sat down in the grass. And I don't even know, she said something. And I'm like, oh, well, it was for the mandates. Medical security is why we went out there. But yeah, we made the best of it. Places, put stuff on our bucket list. But yeah, it wasn't a vacation. I don't feel refreshed. I didn't go somewhere to unwind. And she's like, have you read Fauci's book yet? The black one? I hope he burns in hell. And I was just like, what? Yeah, they handed out that book at a rally, but I haven't had time to read it. She tells me that we've got to read like the first 150 pages or something like that. The rest of it just depends on how far down the rabbit holes you want to go. But she says definitely the very first part of the book. And she's read a lot of stuff. She's been reading a lot of stuff. She realizes that, like, there are people that you can't have a conversation with. They've already made up their mind. Because they in her words, they drink too much of the tea. I mean, she's not the same person she was pre-COVID. And it all comes down to her having a child want to be mandated to get the vaccine.
Not that unreasonable, guys.
It's not that unreasonable.
Experimental
But I mean,
vaccine.
People can try to divide us and everything else, but clear across the boards, mothers. It doesn't matter what race, what color. We have, our son has an Asian friend, and the joke was always, you know, that his mom was really strict and everything, and she is such a sweetheart, like a really, truly, just an all-around kind, just a very kind, sweet person. But I know that I don't know any mom that isn't.
I don't know
protected.
any decent mother that wouldn't be concerned about something made in the most well-funded laboratories. A race against time and each other to be first to market with something that the whole world wants. You guys, they went breakneck speed trying to get this developed, and God bless them. If we didn't know what it was and what's going on, there was major concerns, but everybody needed to take a breath and pause. But yet, any decent mother is going to have reservations about injecting her child with an experimental vaccine that is as close to black magic as we can get. These pharmaceutical companies, they've got the best scientists in the world. They've got the best. The stuff they can make in there, we can't even imagine. So keep that in mind. And while they do a whole lot of good at certain times, there is the potential for serious, serious ramifications. You can't turn on a television for very long without seeing a commercial for, did you take this pill? Did you have this mesh? Did you have this product? You may be eligible to compensation. So it's, keep in mind, guys, yes, while everybody was talking that people making the vaccines they saw a golden opportunity that does not come along very often. If you want to know the truth, look at it like, well,
And then
Mr. Burns from The
they told us all
Simpsons.
to stay home and don't talk to each other and compare. Don't get together and figure them out.
Don't take notes on what's going on. We're going to change the definition of virus multiple times. There's just too much stuff that would give anybody pause. If it was stuff like this and you were in a store or something and it had this many red flags, you would stop and look around.
Yeah.
But just because Uncle Sam says it, we seem to have this belief that they've got our best interests in mind.
They have money in mind.
They have money in mind. The founding fathers were outstanding men. They were outstanding businessmen too. They understood that money and power do have the potential to change individuals and change the way that they think and act towards fellow man. And there's stopgaps in our Constitution. There's provisions in our Constitution to make sure that the federal government does not grow unchecked. And a lot of those have been ignored in recent decades. And that's how we end up in a place like this. You got anything there? I can't see.
I know there was a whole bunch of stuff that I've been hearing about the formula and breast milk and everything. I haven't kept up on it or had time to even read it. Like even yesterday, I spent really the time that it took me to like eat an apple and smoke a cigarette. I sat there and watched Santa's live stream. But other than that, I was real busy. I wanted to watch 2,000 Meals. There's a whole bunch of topics that I wanted to have time to read about, and I haven't.
There's a lot of rabbit holes you can go down.
Well, it's not. That's what me and the other person were talking about yesterday. It's really educating yourself and then taking that information and spreading the information. And I've always been like, spread the word, share, let them know that we're here. We haven't given up. But really, it is just share the information.
That's all we really need. Tell somebody.
They've just stopped allowing us to speak to each other without being censored.
And you're going to get the answer. Yeah, what are you going to do? Well, tell them there's some guys out there now doing something.
It's not like we have a whole bunch of people. We've had a lot more at the beginning. We've had a lot more all the way through. But I can tell you there's been a lot fewer people that gathered for a lot
less important stuff.
Exactly. And they've been covered for ridiculous amounts. But yeah, you got to figure out a way to spread the information.
Yeah, that's the big part. Mainstream media is not doing it. The big tech companies are yanking it down as fast as they can.
A lot of people aren't going to listen to you the first time, and you're not going to be able to have a full-blown conversation with a lot of people. It really is planting the seed. Trying to change people's mind from what they have. All the celebrities, all the political people, all the people that they deem important are telling them, and then they have a stranger saying the exact opposite. It'll take a little while for them to realize. But the people who,
people know.
They still need the information on what's going on.
Yeah, and it is hard to get, guys.
That there are other people. I guess, if nothing else, spread the information that we're all thinking the same thing. We got to figure out how to act upon it and keep going. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow what we're doing more, I guess.
Yeah, there's some talk of a convoy tomorrow. They're not going downtown. I don't know what's going on. I don't know much of anything about that yet. We'll be at the meeting tomorrow morning. We got to work on some truck tractors. I got Bruce back here in town. He's from Ohio. He was driving the blue cab over last time we were around. This time he is driving an old white Freightliner cab over. It's got a box on the back end. He's using it as a camper.
The SUV on
and he brought his
inside.
Yukon to drive around in, so that's sweet. Most everybody here is nervous about touching the big trucks, it seems like, so that'll be nice having Bruce around. He doesn't mind.
I was happy he came back with
Bruce is a good guy.
tools and supplies.
I was sad to see him go, and he bobtailed all the way back home from Banning, California. And a couple weeks ago, sometime back. I haven't seen Bruce in a while. But he's back and ready to rock and roll, so.
Yeah, he left Northern California, I think. Maybe Talent.
His boss was out there in Ohio when we stopped at Burbank. His boss was out there, and I told him I appreciate you giving Bruce time off work. He goes, "Oh, it's no problem. I still got all the good drivers." So, but no, he's been a real stand-up guy. He sent probably half a dozen trucks down and drivers initially to Hagerstown. And I remembered noticing his trucks immediately. This guy runs all old school, pre-95. I think he had one Mack, but mostly they were Pete's and Kenworth, Freightliner and International. All of them cherry, looking great. So we appreciate that. That's, I want to say Jake's hauling out of, where are they out of? Not Massillon.
You asked me too fast.
Maybe Massillon. I can't. Someplace up north in Ohio. I'll find out and let you guys know. Not that tons of you are running freight or whatever, but still, it's nice to know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But goes the horns. That's D, I think.
Yeah, that was the fire truck.
But no, we had a good day catching back up with the convoy. We didn't get here till late, but that's all right. We got all day tomorrow.
Tennessee Patriot. I have Alex Glasgow gave me a list of contacts, but I was waiting to see if he had like a form, like a generic letter that I could pass on, and then we all could start emailing the podcasters.
That is a good idea. We got to get on that.
It's like,
I didn't see Alex.
I really think like I did for just a split second. Yeah.
Saw Eddie.
Or maybe it was to tell him bye. I can't remember.
All our friends are here.
Oh my goodness. Tired. Are like our new way to get news. The podcasters are also.
They're the same thing,
really
but they've
popular.
got such a deeper reach, guys. I mean, realistically, there's between 100 and 200 of us here, and there's 7,000 to 10,000 watching the live streams. And that's why we're not getting the exposure. That's a drop in the bucket. If we can get a hold of Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, any of these guys, any of those guys, you know who I'm talking about, Charlie Kirk, just have them touch on it, have them drop our website, hopefully. And, you know, I'm not asking for donations. I'm asking for people to make phone calls, write letters, and get your butts to Hagerstown if you can. A lot of this stuff always gets turned into, oh, it's all about the money. I'm telling you right now, get your butts here if you can. If you can't, write the letters, make the calls.
Start the conversations with your neighbors, with people at the grocery store. Even if you're homebound, people will come to visit you if you ask.
Yeah.
And talk with them. Programs in place, at least in Ohio, to help out homebound people.
Do you think I should step out there a minute?
For what?
You're not yelling.
Are they mad yelling?
There's a lot of yelling.
Go out there and check. I thought it was happy yelling.
It's not striking me as happy.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
Alright. It's like the air mattress is losing fluid and it starts to get all bouncy. And then he's going to come and sit on it, and then I'm going to fly up in the sky like a freaking teeter-totter. Little Big Rig's wanting to know if what we're doing tomorrow. Diane, I think Wizzy's like the only one that in Oreo are the only two that have consistently paid for their own gas. on.
Oh, rudimentarily. Okay, so a lot of people are upset. A certain individual got here, immediately left, and proceeded to try and get a guy named Jersey J back over here, who has been banned from the camp by the owner.
So somebody left our camp and went over there and
to get him, yes.
To get him to bring him back over. Did they do that? Did he come with them?
I don't know all the details, but that's what's going on. We're just having a little internal argument here. I'm sure it'll all be ironed out by morning.
Good. I guess Taco Joe pays for his own gas also, so that makes me feel better.
Yeah, most of the live streamers do. If they're professional live streamers, we've had a couple that we've had issues with that are kind of and we've
because I pumped the gas, y'all.
I know.
Yes, he is just drama.
Me?
No. As Dennis said, you could tell he was just by looking at him. Cancel.
But at any rate, we've had a good day here. We're poised to have a good day tomorrow. There's talk of some kind of small convoy. I don't know what's going on, but we will figure it out, and we'll start wrenching on stuff. About 7 a.m. is the plan. I might have to take Blinky for coffee. I don't know what's going on. He's got a trailer with him, so he doesn't want to run. I may take him out. We'll see. But at any rate, we will. In the morning, we'll have something cool going on. I know we got to adjust Santa's flags, and Blinky's got at some point this week. So
the owner of this racetrack is, I've never met her, but really, she did not have to let us in way back then. She didn't have to let the other people stay, and she didn't have to let us come back.
No, the Hagerstown Speedway has been nothing but awesome every step of the way. So I got no complaints about these guys. They are absolutely outstanding.
It's been one of the more welcoming places that we've stayed.
Oh, without question. Without
Definitely.
question. If you guys have been with us in like Morongo, California, where we got leave, stuff like that. It was, this place
no
is
food,
like seventh
no
heaven.
bathrooms. Yeah, if you leave, you can't come back, and then you're just going to be out there on the desert reservation without any. Well, we didn't have anything when we were locked in the cage. And as annoying as the noise is right now, as late as it is, I really did last night, and I busted butt all day long today. Do you have the stairs?
Yeah.
I could probably go to sleep with the noise.
I can, no question.
It's like different. I could tolerate my kids' noise a lot easier if they were having fun, but I couldn't tolerate any noise if they were fighting. It was just like, it got to me. And this isn't really fighting, it's just them having fun. They're happy to be back. They're meeting a bunch of people. Good.
It's nice to see your friends that were gone and people you've grown close with, but we all need to remember that this is serious business. This is serious, and it should not be taken lightly. We can joke around and relax a little bit, but there's work to be done here. We're here trying to do what we can do. You're watching us right now, and that says to me that you believe in what we're doing here. If you believe in what we're doing here, I just need you to make those calls and write those letters.
I bet you Overpass Granny's not happy about the noise, though.
I bet she's not.
She doesn't like any noise. Well, I think she gets over with the noise. And I try to tell her, I mean, like, there's, especially since we're so spread out a lot of the time, there are quiet places. I didn't think those people were going to be that loud. But I know that they'll be quiet.
Well, I think everybody's back in here and they're settling down and thinking that, we're back home, we'll call it. But
yep.
We were here for 3 weeks, give or take. There's a lot of camaraderie here. You build a lot of relationships with people. You're glad to see them again. And I'm sure guys know that a lot of you run into people through your life and you know them for a little while and they're gone and you never see them again, and that's fine.
You won't be able to come here and meet the people that never see us again.
No, I don't think you will.
No.
And truck drivers are like that. You bounce around the country and you run into people in different truck stops in different corners of the
But most of us aren't truck drivers.
United States, and most of everybody, the truck drivers here number maybe 10%, 15% of the total vehicles, even less of the drivers.
Oh yeah. I was thinking that earlier.
Probably
We're not
5
really
to 8% of the individuals here
truckers.
drive a truck.
We're kind of like couples and families and single people.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, doesn't that just shoot it clear across the board?
Yeah, that's exactly.
But I mean, if you take away like all the rest of the labels, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. We have families here, we have some couples here, and then we have a lot of single people. And that's probably like the best way to divide it up. I don't know. Some people are more quiet than others, and I try to explain to the Overpass Granny, who usually goes to bed earlier, and then they all could like stay together.
Yeah, we do have a lot of senior citizens, and
but then still sometimes.
Yeah, and I was going to say we're not senior citizens yet, but I tend to, I prefer their noise levels. But no, I get that. We're a little bit after 11 o'clock now, right there at 11. They should be toning it down. If they don't, we'll probably end up saying something tomorrow.
And I really don't know what happened to the other convoy that stayed back, or the other half of us, or
I don't
whatever. Either. I did not keep in contact with anybody. I did not live or watch any of it. I had a couple friends tell me a little bit what was going on, but we had a lot of stuff going on that we really couldn't.
Yeah, we were too busy to keep up with our own stuff, let alone what was going on here in Hagerstown.
And to be quite honest, I'm not even sure what all happened with the whole JJ thing, because it was like right at the very beginning.
Right.
It was before we even left. He had to leave here, and the drama hit and stuff like that. And then I thought, it was like done and over with. So I just stopped following him. I stopped looking at his stuff. And when they announced that we were coming back here, I was kind of clueless on. I was very happy that we were coming back, but I wasn't sure how.
What the situation would be when we got here.
But then a couple days before, somebody told me that the other people who were here had already left. So that kind of made sense, like just perfect timing, really. And that's the thing. We've had a lot of perfect timing, and not a lot of people wanted to go out to California, but I still think there's a reason for our delay, or for whatever, Maybe it was so they could find a place somewhere else and we could have this place back.
I don't know, and I've got like a million things more that hadn't even been on my radar.
Really know anything that happened with Soup Mama or why,
I'll be honest, guys, I'm a little disappointed that we took possession of Hagerstown again. I wanted to roll into downtown
Closer.
DC, and no, I didn't want a place. I did not want a staging area, landing spot, anything like that. I wanted everybody to roll into downtown DC, whatever, and stay there until they made us leave. I am apparently not in the majority, or at least am not aligned with. I don't need to drive laps around the Beltway. People do that all day, every day anyway, whether or not we're here. You guys have been to DC, you've been around the Beltway, you know what it's like. It's always crowded.
Yeah. Except the weekends.
Except the weekends. Oh, excuse me, guys. But I got an outer belt at home. I can drive around if I want to waste time. We gotta do something. We gotta get some attention. We need to provide enough attention that it is too tempting for mainstream media to resist, because they want the clicks, they want the ratings, they want the people watching them. Keep it in mind, yes, mainstream media is beholden to the politicians, but they're even more beholden to the almighty dollar. And if they can sell ad revenue, that's commercial sales blow political stuff out of the water.
Tennessee Patriot, you won't believe all of the arrows Cupid has shot through here.
I'm not gonna lie, Tennessee Patriot, I would
go to church to find somebody.
Yes, you'll be a lot better off finding somebody at church than at the People's Convoy. Not that we're not good people, but just let me put that out there.
Now, the people who have sparked romances have done it the first round in Hagerstown, and then some of them have driven together cross country and back, and they are
still getting
together.
Along, if you can believe it.
So, hey.
You never know where you're going to meet that person.
I still yeah.
Two of the greatest folks here, and I bet all of you know who they are without even realizing it, but two of the greatest folks here ended up meeting each other first time we were in Hagerstown and hit it off, and they've been hanging out ever since. A lovely lady, a gentleman, and their dog. I think it's her dog, I'm not sure.
What is it?
Whose dog is it?
What are you talking about?
Cowboy.
It's her dog.
Her dog?
Yeah. She doesn't have a horn.
Well, the dog works just fine. That dog will hang its head out the window going down the road barking. Just
They trained it to.
That is not what I would train a dog to do, but
they can control it.
well, as long as you can turn it off, that's fine. Yeah, something like Ottawa is what I was hoping for, but we're here to peacefully protest in a non-violent manner, which is what I'm going for. I don't want anybody getting hurt. Look, I'm camped way out in the back right now. I try and stick to the sidelines and in the shadows. I don't want a bunch of attention, but it's about time somebody pays some damn attention to me, because we've got something to say. All of you watching agree with me. We want left alone. We do not want to take your vaccine if we don't want to. I appreciate the option for the people who do, but I don't want to. Don't make me. Don't make my kids. Don't make my wife. Don't make my friends. If we don't want to wear the mask, then shouldn't that be our problem? if the masks are effective, can't you just wear one and negate me not wearing it? Isn't that how this works? It's not like an antibiotic where people using it will make it less effective for somebody else. It's not like that at all with a mask.
Yeah, people don't do enough research, and that is a serious problem. So yeah, spread the information, not necessarily right now and cause drama on this channel. But that's the thing, I have a hard time keeping information to myself when I feel like it's pertinent. And I know my pit crew has seen it before, and I really don't regret any of it.
Bugle practice o'clock. I saw somebody said he sounds like a radio.
Right, screaming downtown. That's why they don't have any energy during the day. Awesome. They're chatty tonight.
We're good. But anyway, we're back in DC area. We're gonna do something soon, I hope. I know that, well, let me put it this way, guys. I'm pretty tight with most of the truck drivers. And I can tell you right now,
We're so tight. Black Wolf was just like, and it's like, wait a second, we just got home. Usually you can turn a truck and a trailer around in my driveway, but right now it's like there's enough room for the Jeep. I felt bad, like, no, can't come over today.
I left my son home unsupervised for 8 weeks. That will cause trouble. Nothing real bad, just not, stuff is not where it belongs. And when I say stuff, I mean like
It's
stuff.
weird, but it's like,
It required heavy equipment to move it around. So
it's been a nice trial by fire for the kids.
it's trial by fire for me. So I was over at the shop last night, and Mrs. Mechanic stopped by. She could not even walk through, not from like junk on the floor, but machine tools shoved out of the way. Stuff
I'm
that
talking
takes
like drill presses and stuff that you gotta
surface
move
grinders,
with other
iron
machines.
workers. I mean, he
He
moved,
heavy
rearranged.
machines. The shop.
Yeah, not the house.
He just
but
like moved everything over so he could drive his truck in.
with plenty of room to work around it.
There's lots of room for him to work around
Engine
that
hoist
truck.
in front, engine stand in front.
And then you guys all know what the old style ink trays are. I bought 2 of them.
The help
And
printers
then-
stamps.
I filled up all of those little compartments, you know, like 100 different. Some of my favorite seashells. And then I stacked them on my table and I pushed them all the way against the wall. Then I put boxes on top of them just in case the cat got in there. He wouldn't knock them over. And then I get home to like a whole bunch of stuff, and I finally make it upstairs to the 2nd floor, and I'm walking to the bedroom, and I see the sewing room doors open, and I look in there, and the 2 ink trays full of my shells are on my desk
balanced
hanging like
off the
that.
edge. If a fly had landed on them, they probably wouldn't have went over.
The cat's not knocked over my seashells.
I'm really surprised.
But I swear,
We're talking hundreds of shells,
you
guys.
can't like, and they're like my good unattended for like long periods of time.
Now, there were 2 people there,
There
keep
are
in
2
mind,
people
living
there.
there.
But he's used to people being in our bedroom, and there's not been anybody
He's used
there.
to you spoiling him,
Yes,
so
he's
that when
used
you're
to
not
use-
there to do it, he
He
misbehaves.
just went through and knocked everything off of Dennis's dressers.
Which I don't know why. I'm not the one who's not. I mean, I'm still not spoiling him. I didn't start
He
and I
left my
didn't stop.
table in my dresser alone. Did you notice that?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Because there wasn't crap to like knock over. But no, it was like a whole bunch of weird stuff. A bird got in the house at one point. A bird got trapped in the attic.
Daughter had her car totaled. She got rear-ended.
Still did not buy a car the past couple days. She's
Waiting on a settlement check from the insurance company.
But
but
she
she's
needs to
looking.
look harder.
Almost all my tools were out of 2 roll cabinets, good-sized ones. My mind is boggled with that, to be honest. I didn't even check out the garden.
Good night, Robin. I saw that there was some kind of vegetable plant by the door,
That's by the door of the house, though.
and there's also a big old fern. And I kept asking where the fern came from, but
Drew got it for you for Mother's Day, I'm sure.
I think so because Sophia didn't. She's like, it's Drew's. I'm like, okay. She's like, he'll take care of it when he gets back.
Well, guys, I gotta be up about 6:30.
Yep.
If Santa wants to have flags tomorrow, well, Santa can have flags tomorrow, but it's rubbing a hole in the back of his truck, so we're gonna try and fix that. I saw some guys putting them on there the other day and didn't mess with it, but apparently something's not quite copacetic. But I'm sure it'll all iron out in the end. So, like I said, we're working, I think, on Santa's truck and Blinky's truck and possibly Black Wolf's truck tomorrow. And if you guys can think of other stuff, let me know.
Huh.
I'd rather just work on the trucks.
Yeah, I'd rather work on the trucks than the four-wheelers. They take care of their equipment
No, they don't, but
more so than the four-wheelers.
it's bigger
do.
parts and easier to get to.
All right, you ready for bed?
I am ready.
I'm ready for bed.
baby. I am beat. Guys, we'll talk to you in the morning.
We'll stream in the morning.
Probably
bright and early.
about 8 hours from now.
We'll see the sun come up, and hopefully Tom will need a ride for coffee, and I'll get some too.
That's.
But my cup's still dirty in the car.
Yeah, I got a feeling that Mrs. Mechanic is still going to be in bed when coffee comes back for her.
God, I hope.
That's how she likes it.
No, not really, but I'm really. It's been nonstop since Christmas for us, really. When we were sleeping in our own bed, I woke up and it still felt weird. So, yeah. How's that not for not being used to sleeping in your own bed?
We got a new mattress in January, and I bet we have not spent 30 days on it.
That we got in January came defective, so we had to send it back.
Now we got another one.
And we actually was sleeping on the air mattress for a week, and then we went out of town for your business for 2 weeks, and then we came back.
That's right.
And they finally picked up the old mattress,
Because we were gone.
and they never sent us a new one. So we
like they
said,
were supposed to.
screw it.
So we went and
got
got
our money
another one.
back, and we got a new mattress. And then it still took time to ship it.
No, we went and picked it up at Menards. Remember?
Is that what happened?
That's remember. Yep.
Okay.
So we got it, cut the
Yeah.
bag off of it, and she popped out like a snake in a can.
And I think we went right to sleep because it was so late.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Threw
was
sheets
just
on
horrible.
it and went. It wasn't bad.
And then it was only like less than a month the convoy started. Probably like 2-3 weeks.
And we were out of town twice in that period too. So.
Yeah.
Now we've only been home like 3
But
weeks this year, which is very unusual for us.
I think I'm more used to the air mattress now at this point.
I'm not. But
I'm
at
ready
any
for
rate,
bed.
guys, we'll see you in the morning. Have a great evening.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do, which leaves it pretty open. So I don't
That
want to
means
hear
we're
a
just
bunch
going to
of.
go to sleep right now. Have a boring night. Wake
Good
up
night,
in the morning.
folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.